Leo, I'm here to give you a Supermoon series wildcard read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And we are looking at what's coming up for you during this lunar cycle between the supermoon that came in on July 3rd in Capricorn to the next supermoon, which is coming up on August 1st in your season. And it's going to be the supermoon in Aquarius, which is actually the descendant sign to that Leo energy. So a very interesting time for you. I feel like there's going to be a lot happening for you in this lunar cycle, Leo. I feel like there's something you've been working on behind the scenes. There's something you've been developing. You've been doing this very quietly. You've kind of been keeping to yourself. You haven't been sharing your ideas. I think that there's something you really kind of want to like wow people with. That's what I got. You want to really surprise them. You want to shock them. Some of you may even, this is kind of coming through, you might want to kind of like show someone what you're working with. It's got a little bit of kind of like touche kind of energy. Like you want to put somebody like in their place. This is what's coming through. I don't know. Maybe somebody put you down or somebody made you feel like you weren't capable of achieving a goal or something like that. And this is coming through. Like you want to show them what's up, you know, you want to leave them with their jaw dropped. You know, I got this kind of energy. Leo. Oh, Leo. Well, we're going to dive into it. We're going to look at it. We're going to see what's going on. Interesting download, but I feel like you're going to be taking some really important action in your season. I think that important action, you're really arrived at it when you hit that point on August 1st with that supermoon in Aquarius. And it's so significant because in August, there's actually going to be a blue moon when we hit the third supermoon in this series. These are all supermoons. There's 4 of them that are being kicked off back to back to back to back. And they got kicked off with Capricorn, okay? Goat energy, you know, got that energy moving. Now expansiveness of Aquarius is the next thing coming in, right? It's interesting though, because there's still like this retrograde energy going on of Saturn, which is Capricorn's ruler. And so that sea goat is still kind of in there, you know, riding these waves of change. But I feel like you've had that resilience of that Capricorn energy playing out for you. I think you've tapped into Saturnian energy. I think you've been getting really focused. Like there's something you're developing. It could even be on a business level, you know, but I feel like there's a lot of forethought that's gone into this. There's something you're really laying the foundation for. And I feel like you're just going to really surprise people, wow people is what I heard. Bottom of the deck energy. Yeah, you know, this is interesting because we have the 9 of Cups in reverse, which is wish fulfillment. And again, you know, there was that piece that kind of came in, I have to say, about like, like it's almost like your wish to best somebody, you know. I got that energy. Like there's a little bit of a competitive vibe to it. And so this is kind of like also just real self-gratification, maybe to excess. I'm picking it up in the emotional realm though, that there's something here that it's about, it shouldn't be about besting another. It should just be about being your best. There's something here, okay? I don't know why that's coming in, but we're going to turn this energy around. I feel it also has to do maybe with somebody that you were dealing with before that you felt was very selfish or self-indulgent. I just saw a bird fly by the window when I said that. So that definitely feels like a pretty strong message. And so it's sort of like, touche, you know, maybe this is like your revenge. It's your revenge to be able to kind of like show this person what a success you are, or the attention that you're going to be getting, you know, it kind of like shoves something in their face. It's interesting the way these cards are shuffling. Do you see how they're getting kind of stuck? Very, very interesting. Yeah, this one first. Ooh, are you dealing with an emperor? Okay. Yeah, that's pretty strong energy. Okay, emperor energy. This is an energy imbalance though. I mean, it came out in the upright. So this is about stepping into a real authoritative position. I feel like this is what you're doing. You know, you're stepping into a very authoritative position in your life. It's like you're wanting to be at the helm. You know, you're wanting to chart your own course. You might have been dealing with somebody that was very headstrong about the same thing. They might have been mirroring you, you know, they wanted to do their own thing too. You know, they had their own plans too. It's like you can either, you know, come along for the ride or not. I think this seems like kind of like a battle of wills kind of energy, like two people that are very headstrong and set in their ways. Like, no, this is the way it is. And you either get on my team or, you know, forget about it, you know. But that's an interesting kind of position, because sometimes, you know, you have to be able to give a little, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have to like be able to find a place where both individuals can hold power, and it's not a battle of wills. But that's when somebody's very secure in their own power. So I think you've been working through some issues around this, you know. You could also have been dealing with a Taurus or an Aries. And when I bring in the signs, it's any strong placement in the chart: Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, or a loaded house. Okay, so that really opens it up. And when you receive readings as well, you know, drop into your intuition in terms of, you know, who's who on the board. I just bring in the energy as it comes in, and it is a collective, all right? So just really engage your intuition in receiving the reads, and you'll get the most out of it. What is very clear here is you're stepping into this position of like authority. And I feel like it's also authority in some particular area where you work, something you're building with your career, something you're putting forward. And I feel like you've been developing it. I also feel that, I think that's why that energy is coming in. I think you've also been like keeping an eye on the competition. Like, I think you've been doing a little kind of like contrast and compare, like, well, how are they doing it, you know? And you've been trying to figure out like your own pathway in that. I think there's a part of you that's really wanting to have like your own voice very strongly in whatever it is you're creating. This could be something creatively too, but it feels like there's an enterprising sort of energy around it. So I feel like you've been like checking out what other people have been saying, and maybe you view certain people as competition, and you've been sort of watching like how do they move, you know, what are they doing? There's almost like maybe wanting to be a step ahead. I think it's interesting. It's that there's this piece coming out that maybe it's not about that at all, though. Maybe it's about that just being an inspiration for you to really like trust your own, you know, your own ideas, you know, your own innovative ideas, and to put the risk forward, you know, to really invest in what speaks to you and really finding your own voice. And I think you want to be a voice that kind of stands out, you know. I mean, Leo, you want the spotlight, especially when you're moving into your season, right? You want to move into that expansion. With the Aquarius energy that comes in with that super moon on August 1st. So you may actually be, I could see that. You may actually be doing something that is about reaching a wider audience. And that's why you've been kind of mindful about paying attention to, you know, what's going on with the competition, like what are people kind of doing out there? And I think maybe you've been trying to really look at how can I set myself apart? Like, what is the thing that I have to offer that nobody else does? And that's the key, man. That's really the secret sauce, right? That's the mojo. When you can tap into that energy, that's your cachet. Like, what do I have to offer? What makes me uniquely me that nobody else offers? You tap into that thing, that is like your original recipe for success, okay? I see you figuring that out. I see you figuring that out. Interesting message coming in. Yes, yes, I love this energy. This is good. Yes, look at this with the Queen of Cups energy here. Some of you may be born on a cusp. You may be Cancer, Cancer, Leo cuspers, okay? This energy could be coming forward very strongly for you. I also see that sometime right now, like in Cancer season, this is building for you. There's something you're tapping into right now. You're really focused. Look at the sense of focus here. You are focused on this cup and what you want to fill it. You have an idea of what's going to fill your cup, what's going to give you that Ace of Cups, that new emotional beginning, this new emotional fulfillment. I am really picking up everything I'm seeing is really making me feel like this is speaking to some kind of creative project, some kind of enterprise. It could be love in some cases. It could be love. It's possible. You could view another as competition in love. You know, you might have been keeping an eye on somebody you viewed as competition. When it comes to you and the apple of your eye, this is possible. It is possible. I also feel like it's you really looking at how can I get this fulfillment I want to see. You know, I feel like I'm not getting the fulfillment I want to see, because it's what I really think of when I think of that Ace of Cups. I think of that sense of personal fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you've really been looking at this. I'm picking up very strongly in matters of career for you. Very, very strongly wanting a career that's fulfilling. Some of you may be in a metaphysical line of work, or you may be desiring to head into an area of work that's more spiritually oriented, or something that involves counseling. I just got Jungian psychology came through. You're wanting to do something with your work that fuses almost like a Jungian psychology aspect, maybe working with archetypal imagery. You might be even, some of you might even be creating like a deck that's like using archetypal imagery. Interesting, some interesting messages coming in here. Some of you are alchemists and you want to put forward, you know, some kind of like alchemical blends. Maybe you want to have like a botanica. You might be wanting to do some type of metaphysical work online as well, with the Aquarius coming in with that super moon. I'm picking up a lot off of this. Some of you are readers. Some of you are readers. Maybe you're starting like a YouTube channel, or you're opening up, you know, to expansion. You're looking to really expand what you're doing on something like YouTube or some kind of platform. What makes you stand out? You're really finding your own voice, you know. I think that you may, it's interesting, you've been finding, okay, that was weird. Those two cards just stuck, so I know this is a message here, okay? Like I said, I feel like maybe you've been sussing out the competition, all right? You've been sussing out the competition with the Two of Swords, but I feel like you finally are like, you've gotten clear. There's something you've seen clearly. And I think what you've seen clearly is that you are ready to really like kind of take it to a next level as far as what you're creating for yourself. And it, for me, it's coming forward very strongly in career. I'm not, I mean, we got the Emperor here, but I'm not seeing another that would represent a partner yet, okay? This looks like a very independent energy to me. It actually looks more like you've been like kind of pulling your energy back, like assessing situations, trying to come to a place of decision, balancing the emotions. Maybe you were in your head or in your feels around an emperor, you know, that like threw you off for a moment, and they kind of like shined something back to you, shined a light on maybe, you know, some of your shadow work with that, you know, Scorpio energy with the death card there. We do have Scorpio South Node in play right now. Emperor represents Aries. Aries is going to be taking over the North Node from Taurus. Okay, so we got both Taurus and Aries here. So I feel like you're really feeling this right now, leading up to the nodes, because the nodes will be shifting on July 18th, and the moon will be in your sign on that day that the node shifts. So Leo, you're going to really feel this date with destiny, big time. You know, whatever you're launching at this time, whatever you're bringing forward at this time, it's like your legacy. It's your legacy. It's what you're going to be known for. I feel like you're really building a name for yourself, where maybe in the past you've been more group oriented in what you were trying to develop. Maybe you partnered on things more often. This is really you like striking out on your own and finding your own voice. There's something that I feel you had to cut off, though. I feel like you had to cut off something from the past, and you had to release this, and you needed time and space away from this to actually understand that if you wanted to see growth for your future, there's certain things that needed to be pruned because they were inhibiting this growth. And when you cut this off and you moved away from this and you started really getting in touch with your own intuition and your own desires, you stopped thinking about how can this other person fill my cup to how can I fill my cup by really just following my soul's directive and getting in touch with what feels right to me, being the authority in my own voice. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say in my own life, but it came through in my own voice. This is all about you finding your voice. Some of you are finding your voice. Some of you are really starting to realize that you have a powerful voice, whether that's for public speaking, whether that's for singing. There's something about sharing your voice. Maybe you have a very important truth to share. Maybe you're a writer, you know, that's another piece too, because writing is another way of having a voice, you know. I feel this coming through. There's something you've learned. There's some cycle you closed that came to an end. You needed space so you could reflect on it. It might have had to do with an emperor, a very strong authority figure in your life where you felt disempowered around this person, but there's this piece that you learned from this person. You actually got a really big gift. This is the shadow that I feel like is being transmuted right now. It's what's going to help with letting go of the old cycle as you really step into your own authoritative power in your life and you birth a really beautiful new beginning. Because we know on the other side of death is rebirth. But this person really inspired you to rise up, like almost in like a rebellion. I'm feeling almost this like Lilith energy, you know, coming forward. Like nobody's going to tell me what to do. It came through as like, no man's going to tell me what to do. That's how it came through. I have to tell you, it came through like that. Okay. But I do feel like you're in a position now where maybe in the past you used to be more like kind of like competitive. Maybe you were kind of like keeping an eye on what other people were doing. Maybe in romantically, you know, if that piece is resonating for you, because I like to bring in all different stories. I feel like it can play out on many different levels in life, but I'm really on a strong track with like business, you know, career, building something for your life feels like your major theme this cycle. I almost feel like love is like kind of taking a back seat a little bit more. It's not the major focus for you right now. I feel like you're wrapping up cycles in love, and it's sort of like you're preparing the ground by coming into a really empowered place within yourself, and then that rebirth will come later, you know. Yeah, look at this. You got 9 of Cups upright now, you know, upright with 7 of Cups. So this is pretty awesome, because what this means is what's happening is by you closing out this old cycle, there's something new opening up in your life. Ted is just like lapping up the water there. So where you've been feeling parched, like, I need something to fill this cup, you're gonna have a lot of opportunities, possibilities, okay? You look like you'll be in a place of self-gratification. I think this is a piece that's coming forward for you too. You're really into space at this point where you're like, I want to do what really gratifies me, what really satisfies me, all right? You know, I may have not had any satisfaction before, but you know what? It's a new day and it's a new way, and it looks like you're going to be kind of spoiled for choice. That's what I got, okay? And I think you are going to come at it, you know, from making this choice. For some of you, it's, you know, choice of many different suitors, you know. You're going to be a hot ticket, you know. You're going to be, you're going to be a hot ticket. I heard everybody's going to want to go on that ride. You're like, you got to be at least this tall. Maybe you're wanting somebody real tall. I don't know where that's coming from. Oh, it's funny. Okay, well, let's do a covered deck energy. It looks pretty good, but we know that whatever you're launching at this time and whatever you're releasing, I feel like you're letting go of some outside authority figure. It could be a lover who really did a number on you. Ted just said yes to that. Okay, or it could be like a parent, you know, an authority figure, your father, you know. Ted says yes to that one too. Okay, it could be a boss, you know. In some way, you're taking your power back. You're taking an action. It's informed by your soul, by what feels right to you. You're not necessarily going about things through logic at this point. It's more that you're really getting into that like creative inner space, and you're thinking like, what's my voice? What do I have to offer that no one else does? And I feel like you're landing on it and you're developing it. And whatever it is, it's so successful. It gives you a lot of fulfillment. And there's wish fulfillment here. And this fulfillment brings you a lot of options. Okay, so it looks really good. Cut the deck. What we got here? Okay, Page of Wands. So there's some kind of message coming in. Yeah, you know, this might be the time right now when you're delivering this. Oh, yes, you're delivering a message. And look at this. It's because you're in the Empress energy. I love this. You might be talking to a fire sign, okay? Because Page of Wands is associated with fire sign energies. Could be a Sagittarius. It is kind of a quintessential Sagittarius card. But it could also be, you know, just you really, you know, owning your voice. Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to cut the cord. Maybe you need to draw a line. Maybe you need to put a fork in it. It's done. And you need to really own that and speak your truth. And then it's about you standing in your power. But, you know, this brings you into balance. Okay. I also see that there's something you're communicating at this time. It's through ending a cycle. Okay. That it brings you into balance. I see it really kicking off with the nodes of destiny shifting on the 18th when the moon goes into your sign. And it's like we have a new moon coming in the day before on the 17th, and it's going to be in the sign of Cancer. Okay. Again, if you're a Cancer, Leo, Cusper, this message is super strong for you. But then the very next day, you know, and that's dark moon. When it comes in, it's dark moon. But when the light begins to build, the light begins to build with you, Leo, when you come in on the very next day after that new moon, and you amplify the energy of the changing of the nodes of destiny. It's like the dawning of the new light, all right? Really cool symbolism. But we do have Aries North Node and Libra South Node, okay? So I feel like this is coming in as a timing for you. And I also feel this is like kind of the crux of the matter. It's like you standing in this place of, I'm empowered. I know who I am. Everything I grow brings me abundance, brings me fulfillment. I feel like you're looking good. There's a radiance that's going to be coming forward within you. And there's also a sense of celebration and acknowledgement, okay? And it comes through closing an old cycle. Some of you, you're coming into alignment with a soulmate, and that is part of the story. But the other stuff is in the backdrop too. You know, I really feel that strongly, that it's through you ending an old cycle and stepping into your personal empowerment and building something for yourself with authority. It brings you into alignment with another. There's some kind of message that comes through, and it gets things moving very quickly with the Eight of Wands. There might be travel associated with this. I see it moving very quickly. Definitely could be the arrows of love, okay? maybe, you know, this is going to be an option and you get to decide, do I want this? Do I want to go for this? And we got the Hierophant here, okay? This looks like marriage for a lot of you. If you've been wanting, you know, that person, and that's something that you desire, this could be marriage. For those of you that you're like, no, I'm not looking for that, and I'm not even focused on that, I'm not focused on love, this is like, yes, success. Whatever you're launching something. There's some new beginning happening here, and it's being communicated, okay? Through messages, through posting something online. I got like big business launch. Like there's something you've been developing behind the scenes. You're preparing to launch it. It's a yes. It's a success. It's going to become kind of like a fixture, you know? I feel that with that Hierophant energy. It brings you a lot of options. There's a lot you can do with this, and it's going to bring you a lot of growth and new opportunities in your life that you weren't expecting. And I do feel at the same time there is this soulmate energy here, especially with the Empress and the Emperor. But you notice there's not a lot of cups here, and the cups that are here, the cups here are about options and they're about personal fulfillment. Okay. I'm not seeing a Two of Cups here. So I'm picking up more of an energy of this is overcoming some kind of lesson in the past in relation to love. I feel a lover taught you this lesson because there's that piece is really in the backdrop. And there's something you had to transform through that to sort of like learn how to stand in your own power. And it's because of this growth and the way that it caused you to have to fall back on yourself and what you developed during that time, that you really build something amazing. It could have been a creative project you've been working on, a business project, but I see you're really doing some real potent launch. And it could be something online. This launch could be happening online, but something's being communicated here. And it brings a lot of opportunities. And you might be coming into alignment in that case with like an investor or somebody who wants to sign you if it's a creative project or some kind of major opportunity to really like step into the spotlight and claim some success. It's a victory. I still feel there's this energy in the backdrop. It's like, like I showed you, you know, there's a kind of energy there. And I mean, it is your energy. It's your energy. Look right here. We got the King of Wands. Okay, so you could also be dealing with a fire sign, but I also feel you're very much in this independent energy. I got like role reversal energy. So I don't know in your connection before if you were like played more of the real like feminine role in the relationship, or because there was an imbalance of power in this situation. I don't know if you were more the nurturer of the connection and you poured all your love into the connection and you just gave so much to the connection while the other person was very selfish, more self-oriented, okay, very masculine, very focused on, you know, just kind of, you know, all business, you know, lacking sensitivity, okay, something like that. But there was some kind of imbalance there, all right? And I feel like now, whatever role you played in this situation, it's like role reversal, okay? It's like now you're in the position where you're very much in your masculine energy, very like feeling very strong, feeling very assertive, feeling very independent. So I think while you will have a lot of different options, you're not going to just like, you're not just going to jump for anybody. But I do see that you're going to be ready to have some fun. And we got an Ace of Wands there. And look at, you know, I mean, that's a, you know, that's a handful, that Ace of Wands. So I do see that you're going to be in a place of a lot of personal gratification. If you smell what I'm stepping in with that, okay? I think that you will be enjoying having sexual connections and feeling very satisfied on that level. For those of you that are already married or in real serious relationships, I feel like the commitment's only deepening. You might be having like a second wind and attraction to each other. I just think, you know, your sex life's going to be good and you're going to feel really fulfilled. You might be trying a lot of new things with each other, you know, with that Seven of Cups if you're already in a committed relationship. I also feel this Ace of Wands is like, boom, taking that strong action. You really see the fruits of your labor and what it manifests. For some of you, it's the fruits of your labor, and you might find out you're pregnant in the fall, or you could already be pregnant. You're going to have a baby in the fall. Maybe you're preparing to have a baby shower. That's another message coming in. You got a lot coming in here, but fall is going to be like, boom, big pop off time. You're going to be very fulfilled. Look at that. Real strong. You could be dealing with an Aries for sure. Okay. We got the Magician card right here. There's that Ace of Wands in hand, taking the action. Okay. And moving forward very rapidly with the Knight of Wands. You got it. You know, you're going to be really rising up into that North Node. You got a date with destiny, man. You are aligning with a soulmate here. I feel that very strongly. And there, again, I'm still not seeing a lot of Cups energy. I feel this is more about stepping in as, you know, the true authoritative person in your life, and you're striking out toward a dream. You're taking an action. It brings you success. It brings you recognition. It puts you in a position of power where you felt confused or held back, or in some cases even blocked in the past. You're moving forward very rapidly with passion and purpose with that Knight of Wands energy. Some of you are getting somebody that's really investing in whatever it is you're creating, and you're going to take off, and it's going to be very successful for you. You're taking a strong action, and you're going to be very happy with where you land in the fall. And it starts you on a whole brand new journey, okay? Brand new journey with the Fool, brand new cycle, brand new people. You know, you're following your heart. You're willing to take the risk. You're going to take a risk and jump off that cliff and trust you'll get wings, you know, on the way down. And that's usually the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? I think you feel very unburdened by the past. I feel like the past is done. You really have ended it. I see all signs of this coming in. You're really going to close this out because you got death. You got the 10 of Swords. You got, you know, the Fool representing the new cycle. And right after the Fool, we see you actually taking action in the new cycle with the Magician. I feel it really kicks off with this changing of the nodes that's coming up on the 18th. This is a start of a powerful cycle for you. And yes, you know, the soul mate will come, you know, but it's almost like that's secondary right now to everything that you're stepping in. Okay. For those of you that are single and you're looking for love, yes, I do see the soulmate coming in, but it's like you're focused on personal fulfillment right now. And it's good. And it's because you're still clearing up something from the past. There's something from the past that you still need to close up, and you're focusing on that, and it's the right decision. Okay. I think you're bringing in a lot of sensitivity around this as you're addressing these issues. You might have even had to transform some past behaviors yourself. Some of you have been in a recovery process. You've been working with a lot of temperance energy. Temperance come in, you might have been dealing with Sagittarius. But there's something here you've been bringing into balance. We know you're going to step into that Empress energy. It came out there, okay? So the Empress is what's taming this lion, this beast, you know, this beast of burden I got, you know, but you're doing it through like gentleness and inner strength, and this is the right way to deal with it. I do feel like you've had to transform a lot yourself, but there is something in this situation that you are leaving out in the cold, okay? With the Queen of Swords energy, like, no, this is done. Some of you may have strong air sign energy in your chart, particularly Libra front and center. I also feel this is a bit of that Libra energy coming through the karmic balancing point to that Aries North node. She'll be in the South node, that Libra energy. That's interesting that I said she'll be there, but it makes sense because Lady Justice, you know, and I feel like there is something that has to be chalked up, is lost to the game. I got, with that 5 of Pentacles coming in right behind that Queen of Swords. It's like, no, this is lost to the game, man. And there might be something you need to address, in relation to the past here, might involve a Queen of Swords energy. But there's something here. And if you are dealing with a situation like that, it may be that you have some karmic debt to pay. Ah, I see that. That could be a possibility too, because I see this right here. Look at that. I want you to see how this is like played out. You got like Queen of Swords sitting here. Okay, air sign energy. Queen of Swords is kind of a quintessential Libra card, but this could also be Gemini or Aquarius. Okay, but the Queen of Swords got the sword raised up, has a certain truth. It's like, okay, you got something you need to communicate, out with it. Look. A lot of times Libra can be represented by the Empress, okay? It's known to be associated with Libra. Taurus, you could be dealing with a Taurus, somebody from the past, all right? That's also possible. But either way, the Empress is taming this lion. So this might be somebody that's kind of like, all right, I know you got some truth you need to communicate. I know you got something you need to say. So come on, out with it already, It's like trying to, maybe you're afraid that this person's going to like bite your head off when you approach them. Maybe you're wrong about that. Look, the Empress is being gentle. Okay. She's being gentle. All right. But there is like truth telling here, right? For sure. And there is some karmic debt to be paid here. It's interesting with the 5 of Pentacles energy. I also feel like, you could be dealing with somebody in this way as well. It could work both ways. There's some karmic debt to be paid. And I also feel it's just symbolic of the South Node, that South Node of Libra. It's like there's something that you need to pay. There's like a debt that needs to be paid here. I feel like it's a karmic debt, right? And there's something that happens with the shifting of the nodes of destiny. There is something you end with the Death card to the 10 of Swords. You do end something. You let something go. Letting this go is paying the karmic debt. It settles the debt of the past. And once you do that, you move forward. And you move forward very rapidly. And it looks really good and empowering. Okay? Very interesting. So let's do one overarching theme card for you. And then we'll close this out. Looks pretty good, Leo. You're moving forward into a lot of expansion. Look at that. Yep. And then you'll be moving forward very quickly. Knight of Swords energy. This is speaking truth. Okay, so there's some truth. The truth will set you free. The truth will get you moving forward very rapidly. That's what's coming through. All right, let's check it out. Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. See, look at that right there. Before we even get you your card, there's something that is really blooming out of the rubble. That's what I got. It's like tower fell. It fell hard, a very disillusioning, very confusing experience. You needed to get space from it. You needed to get clear. You needed to let your waters settle, your emotional waters settle. You needed to purify. I feel like a lot of you are doing purification work. It would be wise for you to do purification work, okay? Be very wise for you to do purification work up to that, it would be good to do some kind of very significant purification bath. Like I feel like almost like a white bath would be really good. Doing some kind of a white bath would be excellent because it's very it's cleansing and purifying, but it's also blessing. And I feel that the big bless up energy is coming in for you on that supermoon in Aquarius. I feel that in relation to whatever this date with destiny is. There's like somebody you're linking up with right around that time. It could be somebody who wants to invest in this legacy you're building, this vision you have, and something really happens at that time. It's a powerful action forward. I also can see it being like a soulmate, or something really significant happening, or a soul coming in. if you don't want to have a baby, you know, you might want to be mindful of up and protective measures, because that came in a few times. Okay. Yeah. Blind spot, you know. Yeah, if you think, oh, I can't get pregnant, I'm too old. I'm not. I haven't had a period in a while. It's, I'm kind of perimenopausal. There's no way. You might want to think twice about that. Yeah, you're in a real creative time with the witch here. Okay, it says the witch, the earthly weaver of the world. So yeah, be mindful. You're in a big like creative cycle right now. So if you don't want to get pregnant, make sure you're minding your blind spots and you're using good protection, all right? But I also see you are weaving a new world for yourself. You're really closing the door on the past in a big way. And I feel like you're doing it with accountability, though. There's some way you're doing it where you're owning your peace. I think there's a little tempering that's still needing to happen, though, because I feel like there's been like a competitive vibe here. Like there's part of you that's wanting to show someone something or prove something to someone or put them in their place or something. And there's a little more transformation. Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh, that's the blind spot. Look at this, the way this came out. Look, we got zombie, control, and this is related to the past, okay? And then we got the veil, the future, your blind spot. Your blind spot is that you need to release control a bit more. This is what you need to do the alchemy work around. Just trusting, letting go, creating space to process whatever it is you need to process so you can let go. And then you'll be able to see this. You'll be able to see the way forward. And you get that light, that illumination comes in, and you're really going to step into a new cycle. It's going to be very powerful. So do that transformation work, cleanse it out, maybe look into giving yourself a white bath. I'll let you go ahead and do your research around that, how to create a white bath. But it's kind of like traditional that you work with all white ingredients in your bath. But I want you to like kind of research that on your own and be led to the appropriate resources for yourself. But I feel like that could be a really good place to begin to explore something for that supermoon coming up on the 1st in Aquarius, your descendant sign, if you're a Leo rising, okay? And I really feel in that case, it's sort of like, it's a sweet bath in a way. It's like, it's a road opener. It cleanses, it purifies, and it opens the road, but it's also like a blessing way. It sweetens the way ahead. And I think it can really like kind of sweeten the heart, like open up the heart center. I do feel like you've been through some tough stuff. I do feel like you've been alchemizing some stuff, and it's going to help you move into a more receptive space where you can really like, let the good stuff in, man, because it's coming in. Enjoy, Leo.